Welcome back everyone. It's a Sunday beekeeping day. It's been nice having 2 days off. Let's just ask Cliff, how is he? Alright Cliff, you still stood there mate. How are you? You get wet in that rain I bet. Rain time. So we're just up here, we've got to do a couple of things up here. Oh, they got Marquee up. There's Bear the dog that jumps in the pond. We've got a couple of things to do up here. I've got a hive to check, and they ain't going to be happy on a day like today for me doing it, but it's got to be done. So we're going to be doing it. But we're had a few orders this morning for some honey from 3 of the outlets, which is quite good. They all want a bit of honey. Can we go through a little gated bit now? So I had to drive around this the other day because it all fell over like Humpty Dumpty. We'll get through there. We'll get through there. We'll get through there. We'll get through there. You get a lorry through there, you could. I could. Class, me. They'll be cutting that soon, won't they? The old corn, that looks like corn, that one. That one looks like corn or wheat. Let's check the blackberries. All the blackberries are coming on. Oh, there's a bee there, look, on the blackberries. A big old bumblebee. Yeah, look, we can see the bees looking. So there is still flowers to come, look. So, and wasps, even the wasps on the blackberries, look. Having a look. Wasps are a problem this year. Well, I wouldn't say a problem, but there's just a lot of wasps this year. They like the heat, I suppose. Look at that, looks like a funnel web spider living in there. You could put your hands in that, would you? Anyway, I'm up here to do a couple of things with these bees, and then I'm off up to the new site to have a few things done to them bees. I've got the two narrow nuke stacks. They're 10 frames anyway, so I've got a hive empty down there unless something's moved into it, and I've got a hive in the back of the truck that we put together yesterday, painted, and I put a covering on the lid on the roof. I'm trying some new stuff on the roof. I'm a bit dubious about it, whether it'll be alright. It'll be alright for a while, but it's how long it lasts, which is, but it was cheap and it's a bit of an alternative thing to be using. So anyway, yeah, we need to check one of the hives here. We might have a check in both. We're not checking the castle. We're not checking the golden bee factory. Yeah, not much activity. It has been raining all morning and it's not very nice weather, so we'll see what the bees are like. But hopefully, look, them blackberries over there are starting to turn ready picking. So pretty much season's over. A month, pretty much good month to 3 weeks earlier than last year. So now is the time, right? You've got to check what honey you want to take off your hives, if it's even still there, because the bees will start consuming back now. Like now, I'd say is the time to get the bulk of the honey off the hives before they start eating it back. But making sure you leave them enough for winter. See, like most of the hives this year, they're going to go into winter on double broods or brood and a half. They stay strong like that. So we'll see. So, thankfully there's not many wasps at this site. The birds did their job on the hives, and now the wasps, there is wasps, but there's not as many as say at the farm. At the farm there's a lot of wasps. Anyway, come back in a little bit. I upgraded my suit. Let's put the camera so you can see. I didn't even know the camera was there. camera's on. Right. I upgraded my suit. Not for me, I'm happy with my green suit, but the white suit not so much. I got this one, it was an expensive suit. It's the Swienty Breeze. It's quite an expensive suit. I got it more for other people because I know the green suit and the white suit that I bought you can get stung through. Well, I ain't no wussy and I can act that, you see, so it don't bother me. But I got this one because for other people, because the hood and stuff, you know, the hood is much further away from your face. You've got a lot more room, whereas the other ones, the cheaper suits, when you tilt back like that, the mesh goes against your face and the bees get you. Obviously, like you see, I had that big fat lip, so I got this one. It was £170 it worked out, but this, I ordered one. I ordered an extra large because obviously I'm quite a tall chap, you know, and my lad, he's a big chap. He's tall and he's quite well built. I'm a bit on the slender side, me. I work hard, burn it off, and I smoke. So, but you've got to be careful when you order these suits, right? They give you the size measurement guides and everything. Well, this suit pretty much fits me perfectly everywhere except the arms, as you'll see. Now, if I go a suit bigger, it'll fit me probably in the arms, but nowhere else. The first one, I'm not kidding, was an extra large, and I held it up and you wouldn't have been able to walk through a door, you know. Well, you would, unless you're that tall. It was for someone like 8 foot, either 8 foot or extremely big, to fill it out and reduce its height. Well, that ain't me, is it? So, and my lad ain't that big, but yeah. But it's a quality suit, you know. You get this is my workaround for it not reaching in the arms. I'll put this top like this on, and then I'll put my gloves on. I'll show you, look, I'll get my gloves. See, then I'll put the gloves on, because the bees can sting. These gloves ain't even sting proof, you know. This bit is, although if it's tight against your skin they can get through it, but this bit all round here, there, all round there, that gap between the suit and there would be sting city round there, which is where they usually sting me. I get stung a lot round here, round my wrists, round my head, round my ankles. The bees know the weaknesses, so that's my workaround, to wear a top like this on this suit. But yeah, so be careful, you know. They're brilliant suits, like zip up pockets, all the wear bits for where, like, you might sit down and tear your ass open on barbed wire, or, you know, brambles or whatever, where they catch. It's got stuff to stop it ripping. But I noticed yesterday, because when I used it yesterday, you see it's quite tight to the skin. It's quite tight to me, whereas the others are baggy. And I did take a sting through the suit. I took a sting through it. But yeah, but yeah, well, you know, you ain't getting one on the face with this, I don't reckon, unless you're looking up at the moon. And then again, you see, if you're catching a swarm out of a tree, it wouldn't do that, would it? When, yeah, you see, you're not gonna get it's not gonna flap back on your face when you lean your head back. So I'd recommend them. They're expensive though, and you know, we're cheap, we don't like expensive. Zip up pockets, plenty of pockets, eye tool pocket, thumb wear guard, zips all the way, like longer zips on the boots, so you could put it over your boots. I don't, I take my boots off. But yeah, I thought I'd just let people know that. I'll show you my other suit, my green suit. I've not got the white one with me, but this suit, you know, this suit's great, cheap, reasonable priced, pretty much similar material. This suit's done me all right. Say, with this style of hat, it keeps it away from your face, so this one's done me well, really. For the price point, you can't go wrong. But if this is tight round your head here and you start to sweat, the bees get on that sweat and then they start stinging you around the head. Luckily my head doesn't swell up, it's already big enough. But yeah, And you see on me, this suit fits me alright. You know, it fits me alright. It's baggy on me, which I like. But the other one, honestly, the first one I ordered from Swienty was like, you weld it up like that, you know, it was that size. You needed to be that size human to be in it. So I'm not sure who they're aimed at. Fat people, I think. Porkies. Can't say things. Ooh, you can't say things like that, Mark. Can't call people porkies or anything no more. You've got to be all politically correct in this silly old world. But the suits are alright. Better than no suit. My first bee hat, you know, was a sieve. A hoodie and a sieve. Put the sieve over your face, put the hood up on your hoodie, pull the strings, and it worked, apart from it was silver, so you couldn't see very well. If it had been a, oh, dare you say it, if it had been a black sieve, it would have worked perfect. But the silver light, you see, it reflects back against your eyes, so you couldn't see out really. But yeah, bee suits. So shut up now and get on with what I've come up to do. So that's me all primed up in the suit. Feel safe and secure and knowing I'm maybe not going to get stung. Yeah, it's going to rain. So you'll see this hive, the bees have consumed the honey and took it all downstairs. So we've probably missed the honey crop on these bees. They've eaten it. Just check the next frame, but yeah, that's what they've done. They've ate the honey. Yeah, look, see, they're eating it now. So that'll be a bust on this site probably. Total bust for the year really, because of them birdie wordies, which is disappointing, very disappointing. Yeah, they're starting to consume. I'll bet you if I go into the next box, it'll be put it all down there. So you've got to be on the ball with beekeeping. And you know, you're never guaranteed. The bees do what the bees do. So I'll take this box off probably, because there's no point having it on there now. Although I'll probably leave it on there, let them eat the rest of it. But it'll all be down in these two boxes is where they'll be took it. But you know, they'll overwinter on a nice bit of food. So yeah, so I'll take that box off and then have a look in the bottom. You've got to make sure everything's queen right. Coming because winter's, you know, season's over, winter's coming, so you've got to make sure everything's queen right. There's no, you can't see no diseases and things, because soon we'll be getting ready to treat all the bees for the old varroa. And there's the new one now, the Triopolopilipsis or whatever they're called, which is like a smaller form of varroa. So probably harder to detect, more difficult to detect. Anyway, we'll do what we're doing. You see, so that's what the bees have done. They've consumed the top box, the top super above the queen excluder, and they've brought it all down into this brood tray. There is brood on two of the frames, but they're not putting, the queen's not laying fresh brood in there, they're backfilling it with honey. So I will have to go into the bottom box just to make sure everything's alright with the queen, because I do need to see fresh eggs. Not necessarily need to see the queen, but I do need to see fresh eggs and everything's alright. Yeah, you see they backfilled it all with honey. See, I could take that box off, put the queen excluder underneath this box and then harvest this honey, but this honey, then you see, if they have all this honey back, then I know that they're going to be got plenty of food. It's a bit early really though, you know, for them to have that much honey for winter, but it just means they're going to have a lot of honey for winter. So yeah, I am going to have to go down in the bottom box. I can see fresh drawn out wax in the bottom box. So I'll come back in a minute when I'm down in the bottom. So I think the bees have just chased Cliff across the field. That hive there in the corner is pretty aggressive still, that one. And they've it's all queen right and everything. But yeah, opened that one and they went wild. So I'm not sure really what's turned the bees like wild down here, but some it has. Well, these ones are calm, so we'll leave them alone. But yeah, that's not good. Right, I just see Cliff running. So I'm going up to the other side now. I'll just go and see him before I go. Yeah, I've not took any honey off or anything. That's just from opening the boxes. It'll kick off robbing and everything now. All these bees are mad at me. But yeah, it'll kick off robbing and aggression. So it's not been a very good season really. Look, in come the birds. Now the bees are active, in come the birds. So that's probably what it is. So this site's a bust. It really is. Can't be having the bees aggressive like this because they're being eaten by the birds. People come up here. Cliff's just been chased across the field. So we're still after him. Not good. So I'll probably have to move all these bees because it's just really not good. I'll put the super above their feeders so that they can clear them supers out because they're vegetals anyway, so yeah. Anyway, I'll go and see Cliff and then I'll be gone. So yeah, the bees were chasing Cliff across the field, poor fella. Jen said that they don't like him, but no, they don't like anyone at the minute, so the bees are just a bit cracky lackers. Yeah, well anyway, up to the next site. Hopefully they'll calm down though, because I can't keep having these mass. I like aggressive bees, but nobody else does, do they? It's not nice being chased across your own field. Well, I don't know why I find it funny. I find a lot of things funny. If you can't laugh in life, you ain't living. But yeah, up to the next site.